How many of you has watched The Office? I'm talking about that English sitcom. Have you watched? If you have watched Office, then like this video or comment something that yes, you have watched Office, something like that, so that I know that you guys know about this reference. The so in Office, in the sitcom Office, we had Michelle Scott, and he was the world's. It is like the world's most awkward boss kind of a thing, right? If you have seen Office, then organizational politics you already know about it. You can close this video and go to the next one. No, 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 don't go. I'm simply kidding. So say from Dwight, who is constantly trying to be the, I think, assistant regional manager, or I think, was it assistant regional manager, or was it assistant to the regional manager, whatever. So Dwight was there. He was trying to constantly get to that position. Jim was there. He was using sarcasm as his survival strategy. So whatever that is, say from Michelle Scott to Jim, The Office was basically a comedy masterclass on how power and politics play out in everyday work life. So, if you haven't watched The Office yet, give it a chance whenever you get time. Okay, maybe not right before your term and examinations, but whenever you get time, it is a very good thing for us HR managers. Let's be honest. Every office has a Michelle Scott, someone with a position, power, but questionable people skills. And there is also a Dwight who tries every trick in the book and sometimes even outside the book, like 18 പയറ്റാൻ റെഡി ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആള് to climb the ladder in the office, official the role ladder. And meanwhile, people like say Pam or Jim, they try to navigate all this office politics with a smile and subtle strategies, ജീവിച്ച് പോവാനായിട്ട്, to live through all all these big sharks there. And we cannot forget Toby from HR in over there, who was quietly watching all this chaos and trying to keep all the things ethical. So, this is exactly what Unit 4 is also all about: organizational politics. It is the behind the scenes power play, the silent negotiations, the impression management, and of course, yes, sometimes even the gossips that affect how decisions are made, who gets ahead, and sort of things, who gets that on site opportunity, who gets the promotion, all sorts of things. So, you can think of this entire unit as your behind the scenes pass to understanding the real workplace. Because whether you are in Dunder Mifflin or in an office in India, politics is part of the package. You need to know how to navigate it, otherwise, it is going to be very difficult for you. It has for everyone, whoever is working in an organization. If you are working for someone, or if you are going to start your own organization, you need to know about this politics, organizational politics. So, let us start with a basic question. What exactly is power in an organization? Simply put, power is the ability to influence people as well as outcomes, influence others, um, and also the outcomes of situations. So, it is like knowing the Wi Fi password. Suddenly, if you know you are the one who knows the office Wi Fi password, now suddenly everybody comes, talks to you, you get chips, all those things. Everybody wants to be your friend now. Correct. So in the workplace, power can come from different sources. Some people can have power because of their position, like your CEO or your manager. Some could have power because of their expertise, like the IT guy who can fix any kind of a computer glitch. Or sometimes just because people like them, like that one colleague who everyone trusts. So these sources are referred to as position power, reward power, expert power, referent power, coercive power, and all sorts of powers. Okay, now let us talk about dependence. A slightly boring word, I agree, but it is a very real workplace truth, because power often comes from how much others depend on you. If you have the entire office depending on you, that means you are a critical resource for them, right? For example, if you are the only one who knows how to generate the monthly sales report, then suddenly you are the office superhero. Right. This power of dependence, this is quite common in departments like finance, HR, or IT, where others rely heavily on you. So historically speaking, the concept of power in an organization, it is not a new concept. Way back during the times of Frederick Taylor and scientific management, the classical theory period, power was very top down, like the CEO or the boss, they had all the answers, and the rest were expected to follow their commands, like God sent commands. But over time, thinkers like French and Raven, they added more depth to this discussion. They introduced different types of power which we still study in HR today. Now I want your attention on something more interesting, that is politics in organizations. You must have probably heard the term office politics. Maybe you even have been told to stay away from office politics. But here is the thing, politics in organization is not at all bad all the time. Just like how we said, conflict is not bad all the time. Politics in an organization is also not always bad. It is simply about influencing decisions, managing relationships, and also sometimes pulling a few strings to get things done. And but as long as it is ethical, it is all part of the game, okay? So, political behavior includes things like forming alliances or negotiating for resources, and maybe even sugarcoating a little bit about your boss's ideas so that they feel brilliant. Classic move. Now, politics is not just about self interest. Sometimes it is also about navigating the complex power dynamics to move the team or even the whole company forward. Okay, now if you're wondering where all these political behaviors happen, the answer is almost everywhere. From big decisions like, say, restructuring the company or such, or some mergers or acquisition, to small things like deciding who gets to represent the team at the annual conference or who gets to do the presentation for the client. Politics is at play, or who gets to go on site, all these things. And it is especially active when resources are limited or when major changes are being made. So what causes this political behavior? Two things, two main things. Individual factors, like someone being super ambitious or very manipulative, like the kamolika of your organization kind of a thing. Or organizational factors, like resource scarcity or a vague work culture. These two factors, the individual as well as the organization factors, you mix these up and you have got a perfect recipe for office politics. But like I said earlier, not all politics is bad, not all consequences of politics are also bad. Sometimes politics can lead to creativity, better decision making, or stronger bonds. Like imagine two rival teams finally coming together and producing a hot shot idea. That is, that could be thanks to a little bit of a political nudging, right? But on the darker side, politics can cause stress. It can decrease productivity and make the workplace feel like a daily episode of Big Boss, full of drama, manipulation, silent wars, and all sorts of things. So, how can you play the game smartly? How can you make sure the politics that you have in your organization is for the good of your organization and for your employees? We will have to use certain tactics, and by we, I mean managers. What tactics can we use? Networking, building expertise, self promotion, collaboration. But just make sure you do it ethically. Ethics, don't ever forget ethics. Very important. No backstabbing, no gossip wars, and definitely no stealing credit for someone else's hard work. Build coalitions, bargain respectfully, learn to manage impressions wisely. Now, speaking of managing impressions wisely, it brings us to another important topic, that is impression management. Impression management is all about how you present yourself at work. Want to be seen as dependable? Be punctual. Want to look like a team player? Then help out your colleagues. That is Impression management. Don't fake it too much because otherwise you will become like a politician during election season. Full of promises, zero delivery. Don't be like that. You manage what impression you are giving. We all say, right? First impression is the best impression. Well, in offices, it's not simply first impression but also lasting impression. Okay. Now, finally, let us come to the last topic of this video, that is ethical politics. What is ethic? We've always been saying politics is good if you are doing it ethically, use power but do it ethically. So what is ethical behavior? Ethical political behavior. Politics can be done ethically. Can you imagine? How? By being transparent, by being fair, by being respectful and accountable. So basically, don't do anything that you will feel awkward about if it showed up on your, no, publicly, maybe in your LinkedIn field or somewhere like that. Don't do anything like that. Be ethical. So before we wrap up, a quick reality check. Whether you like it or not, organizational politics is here to stay. So there is nothing like avoiding it, but rather it is all about understanding how it works, using it wisely. If you use right, then politics can actually help you grow in your career as well as contribute positively to the organization. So the next time you hear someone say, "Yeah, there is too much politics in my office," you can smile and say, you can smile because now you know how to manage it. That is all for Unit 4. If you need detailed explanation on any particular concept from this unit, let me know in the comments and I will see what can be done about it. When you comment, please restrict to Unit 4's video. If you have some concept in Unit 3 or Unit 5, I have individual unit videos for each of those unit. Please go and comment over there. I know it is a little bit of a work for you, but it will make my work easier, which in turn will help me get videos out there faster for you. Okay, so that is it for this session. Thank you so much for choosing Anu's Classroom as your learning partner. Happy learning.